What's up, everyone? Timothy Milamasylum Jr. here, and this is Milamasylum. Yes, a Doordash review. Now, I currently started doing Doordash. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a few cool ones. A couple of them that I watched, they got a lot of cool stuff, cool challenges, things like that they do with each other and things they do by themselves. One guy made fucking 10 grand in 1 month. Like, fucking insane type of shit. Now, here in my area, that's impossible. Completely impossible to make that kind of money in 1 month. Here, DoorDash is heavily regulated. They only offer you so many jobs per hour. And then if you're above a certain pay, they withhold giving you any orders. And then they'll give you another order. I worked 16 hours my first week just trying to give it a shot, see what I can do. And I made just a little over 4. But that only equaled out to $15.50 an hour. Okay. Now, so no matter how many orders I did, no matter what, that was it. Now you're like, well, what if you did more? Okay. My second week at my 16 and a half hours, I made the exact same amount of money. Same amount. More deliveries. Same amount. Now, you can decline orders, things like that if they're too far, etc., etc., etc. Now you would think, you're like, okay, you canceled long, shitty, small pay orders and only took big orders. Yes, that's what I did. Same amount of money. Same amount. In 16 hours. Now, this last week alone, I worked Monday through Sunday. I took 4 vacation days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, from my full-time job to DoorDash all week to see how much money I can make in that entire week on the hours alone that I'm not with my kids. So, meaning I would dash when I dropped them off from school, I would dash for those hours, then I would pick them up, and then I might make 1 or 2 dashes while I was with them, but for the most part, I wouldn't dash at all. And then I would dash from the time they went to bed until 2 or 3 in the morning, depending on how I felt, whether I was too tired or not. So those are the hours I was working anytime I didn't have my kids. Okay. And I made last week alone $1,001.46. And guess how much that equaled? That's right. $15.50 an hour. Yeah. Now they pay you for there's 2 different time slots. There's dash time and active time. Now, dash time is your total amount of time that you are spending in the app while it's running, while you're sitting here idle and not getting any fucking orders. That is still you working for the app. That's you working. Yeah, granted, I have time maybe to run into a store, do a little shop, but then you get a notification that there's an order, so you're like, do I want it? Okay, I want it. Boom. And now you're done and you're back to working. So you accepted that order. Now, active time is from the time you accept that order till the time you confirm you drop that order off. And it's significantly lower. Like, as of yesterday, I worked 7.5 active hours in 9 hours and 40 minutes in my dash time and only made $145.05. Now, if you equal that out from the 940, that's only 15 and a half fucking dollars. But if you figure out the other one, it's up around $20 an hour, roughly. So they try to scam you by saying, oh, you can make this much, but no, you're only making a certain amount that they'll only give you. And you're putting in a shit ton of fucking hours. Literally. Like, working a part-time job will pay you more. It just will. So let's say I got a part-time job Monday through Wednesday and worked only during the time that while my kids were in school. I would make more in those 3 days for those 4.5 hours a day than I would doing Doordash, because they're only paying you $15.50 an hour for your actual sacrifice time invested in the app. Period. And I don't think that's the case in all states, but here it's heavily regulated. It's very obviously regulated. Now, you can accept an order or decline an order. Now, when you decline an order, it doesn't affect your, if you're going to deactivate it or not. They can't do that. But what it does do is it stops you from being a top dasher. You have to have over 70% accepted orders in order to become a top dasher. Now, the perks of being a top dasher is you can apparently dash whenever you want, but they made it very easy to obtain. So when you get a ton of dashers, top dashers, you're not going to be able to dash whenever you want, because there are going to be too many dashers on the road for how many orders there are. So then you're waiting for a time slot. Now, that's the case also when you're not a top dasher. You can't get into the app. You can't schedule. You can't dash now, nothing, because there's too many dashers out. There are times where I've literally waited hours. Like today, I am waiting. I've been waiting since 8:30 to be able to get in and dash. Now, you can't schedule. There's no time slots available in the scheduling, period. Now, I've been waiting to dash since 8:30. It's 10 o'clock now. So I can't even slip in and get a time slot. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I got got Doordash open right now. It's doing its thing. I'm waiting. I'm like, let's go. I want to make some extra money before I have to pick the kids up from school. So you can't dash whenever you want. I was trying. Now, like I said, I took those days off so I can see if I was able to quit that job and just do this job, because I had a certain time schedule that I was trying to maintain for the week to see if it was going to be feasible, especially during summertime coming. Was I going to be able to work 5 to 9:30, 10 in the morning, and then work from 10 to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? That's not possible, because I can't just slip in and dash now whenever I want. And as I stated before, if I was top dasher, I might be able to have the morning shift, but if there's too many top dashers, then I'm not going to be able to get in there. Now, the thing about top dashing is you got to take those shitty fucking orders. I had one order that was 29.1 miles for $2.75. That would have been a 60-mile round trip for less than $3. Like, what the fuck? Right? I'm not crazy. Who would take that? Someone who wanted top dasher would. And if you're going for top dasher, you're not going to make any money. Period. Your dollar amount is going to be so fucking low because you're taking those shitty orders that are fucking 10, 15, 20 miles away for only fucking less under $3. Like they're shit, they're garbage orders. So is top dashing worth it? No. Because you're out here trying to make money, not lose money. And as I stated before, Doordash is only paying this area anyways at $15.50 an hour. Your time. They're not even paying you for your time. Essentially, they're saying, keep dashing, make more money. That's not true. It's not true at all. This week, I dropped off a total of, oh shit. I did a total of 105 deliveries. Okay. Now you're saying, well, what if you took some of those shitty orders? No, it doesn't work that way. If I would have took those shitty orders, I would have had to drive all those long ways, which is anywhere between 20 to an hour, and I would have lost the dashes that I did take. You see what I'm saying? It's a scam. They scam the fuck out of the people who are trying to do this job and make a profit. It's all a game. It's all a fucking game. All of it. Every single bit of it. So if you're making over $25 an hour, don't quit your job for DoorDash because you can't just dash whenever you want. The nighttime after 10 is the best time to go out and dash. If you live in a big city or a high DoorDash place, it's perfect. You can make easily 60 to 100, just over $100 between 10 and 3 in the morning. And yeah, that's not a lot of money because it's not. My total for a whole day was just under $200. I could never break it. Yeah, that's just the reality of it. My top day for the week was, I had to do all the math on these. They don't clump the whole day together. They clump in sections of when you could dash. So as I was saying, the Dash app only allows you to dash. Then they'll give you a time slot. You'll go dash now, and you're like, yeah, and then it shows you, and they're like, oh, you can dash for 30 minutes. Okay, I'll dash for 30 minutes. Then your time ends, and then you have to wait. And then, oh, dash now opens up. You hit your dash now, and then they're like, oh, you can dash for 2 hours. All right, I'll put in 2 hours. And then you can go up there. There's a little thing that says, extend your dash. You go up there, and it says, you can't extend your dash. Okay. And then your dash ends, and you're waiting to be able to dash again. It's fucking annoying. But anyways, it's not worth quitting your full-time job over unless you have a partner. I don't have a partner. Single dad. Single person. And what I'm trying to achieve and where I'm trying to gain in life, it doesn't pay or benefit me to be able to do it full time. Because I want maximum hours with my kids, and I can't even schedule that with this app. It doesn't allow you to. So, is DoorDash worth it? Yes. It's a good side hustle. And yes, it could benefit you in some areas, depending on where you're at. I recommend that you give it a 1 week, 2 week trial, like your complete attention to see what you can make. Because on here, yeah, I'm scheduled to make $4,000 in 1 month. You take taxes out of that, that's like $3,200 roughly. That's just under what I'm making now for 4 days a week and 412s at my current job. And I had to put in 60 hours to get $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm totally cool working whatever hours I need to, as long as it doesn't interrupt my time with my kids. And it was this last week, because I had to like really grind to get in what Dash now, get my schedule, get my time slot in, so I didn't lose it. Because what happens when you lose your time slot? You lose money. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, just because it isn't feasible to do it full time in my area anyways, and they only paying me $15.50 an hour. No matter how much Dash I give them, no matter how many orders I do, it still equals the same. Unless, like I said, I did it for 1 hour and I made $30. Then you're like, oh, what? You made $30 that hour? Yes, that 1 hour. You go for 2 hours, $15.50. That's just how they work it out. Now, I do recommend it if you are trying to get some extra money, because I worked technically 3 days my first week, and that was 16.5 hours my first week, and I made just over $400. So it is worth it if you want some extra money. So I'm gonna continue door dashing, because it is gonna benefit me. But it's not a job I can do where I can quit my full-time job. Now you want to talk about gas prices. Okay. I'm in a fucking truck. Okay. I'm in a GMC. It's got a flex fuel, etc. I have for the whole week, I only put in $200. So I lost $200 out of the 1,000 that I made. And I didn't even make 1,000, because they took $117 out of it for that peak pay that they give you. And let me remind you, peak pay is extra pay on top of every delivery. They keep all that. You don't see it. It doesn't go into your account. I mean, you do see it. It's on your app, but you don't see it in your account. It doesn't ever go in your account. So this peak pay doesn't do shit unless you, I guess, quit the app or stop being a dasher. Then they would pay you that out, I would assume. But you don't ever see it in your account. So those technically aren't really worth shit, since you don't see it. Now, it said I made $1,000 in one, but I didn't. I made $887 or some shit like that. That's what I made. So, yeah. So you gotta take into account for that. You gotta do your own taxes at the end of the year, or quarterly, whatever your state's doing. So you gotta save all that money that you have, or you can try to figure it out and stash it. But it's a great side hustle for some extra income, because you can work whatever you want to work in those hours that it allows you to work. So, anyways, that's your review. I'm Timothy Alma, Jr. Until next time, fuck off.